today I'm going to be taking the Transformers Kingdom Autobot Blaster and Eject. So here is Autobot Blaster, and Eject is inside in his cassette mode. Before we take them, let's take a look at the packaging and collector cards. So here he is in his Boombox Mode, and of course on this side here he is in his Robot Mode running into battle. I do kind of wish on the front there was some artwork for Eject, but there isn't any, so that is kind of a shame. Of course we have the typical Kingdom artwork on the side, and on the very back he transforms into 20 steps, and also of course the Minicon Eject. It doesn't really say how many steps, but I'd say it's about 4 or 5, I would say. But yeah, overall very cool packaging. And let's quickly take a look at the collector card. I got Unicron, hopefully you can see that clear. And if you flip it open, it is the planet's Cybertron and Unicron devouring it, which is pretty cool. I have to say there's a lot of detail in just a small little card, so very cool. I actually do not have one of these yet, so very cool collector card and packaging. Let's get into the review. We have Kingdom Blaster in his Boombox Mode. Let's take a look at details. On the front side, of course, we have a lot of really nice details. We have the volume controls, we have the forward and back, we have, I'm assuming, the pause button. We have this little button here that opens this section right here, which I will show you in just a second. We have some nice speaker details there on the front and side, of course, which does look very nice. We have a nice Autobot symbol there, some nice yellow, and we do have a little display view of the inside. If you can see, Eject is inside there. This window is kind of tinted black and grayish, so hopefully you can see that. It's barely visible, so very nice. We have some nice red, lots of really nice sculpting and detailing, lots of really cool details on this boombox. It's not too big, which is really nice. I will give a comparison to the previous version of this character, the Untitled Chapter version, which was a leader class, so quite a bit bigger than this figure, which is actually kind of the problem I had with that figure. It was too big. Robot mode was too big, and the Boombox mode was just really big, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So very nice front side details, very cool. Of course we do have the handle there. You really can't fit your fingers through, especially my hands. I have very big hands. If you have small hands, it could probably work. You could really just hold it like that, or on the sides like that if you wanted to. So very cool. So storage and feature wise, of course, you can just press this button right here and it opens up this little storage area where you can store, of course, Eject, which he is right here. I won't be transforming him now. I'll be transforming him after we transform Blaster in a little bit. So yeah, very nice. Lots of blue and yellow. Looks very nice, and he just stores right in here, and of course you can just close that back up. I think that looks very nice. Another feature slash storage is, of course, we have his really cool rifle, which is very nice. I actually did do a stop motion recently, and I realized he is not really Blastovic compatible with this rifle. It did work for the stop motion, but I just kind of crammed it on there. It was not very easy, so I wouldn't say it's the most easy way to store a Blastovic piece on there, so that's kind of unfortunate, but you can store this accessory on the Boombox mode, which is really nice. So there is a tab right there, and there is a slot on the handle. Hopefully you can see that. And you can just store this big rifle right back there, which is really nice, because there was storage for the rifle in the Tiny Return version, which I will show in just a second, but it was really bad. It was just kind of slapped back there, and it stuck out a lot. This is a lot more flat. You can barely tell there was a rifle on the back of the boombox, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, very nice storage for the rifle, and storage for, of course, Eject. So very nice details and all that sort of stuff. Of course, we really don't have any articulation for a boombox, so we'll just head right into the comparison. We have Kingdom Blaster with Titan's Return Blaster. As you can see, they are like completely different. This is a lot more boxy and blocky. Of course, there is a lot less details. This one has a lot more details. There's a lot of, there's the pause and play button, there's the volume knobs, there's the speakers. There is speakers on this one, but there's really just 2 gigantic ones, which do look pretty cool, but I really do like this Kingdom one. I think it is more realistic to what a boombox, what you would see. I guess not today. Most people do not have boomboxes anymore, but this would be more of a common boombox if people had them today. This is a very big, kind of boxy, blocky one. I don't think it would be very common for people to have, but still, I do quite like this figure. It is, of course, very different. This has the Titan head gimmick. This does not. So it is actually pretty cool to have 2 different versions, but as you can see, they are very different. This has a lot more details. This one's a little bit more simple. Of course, it does have that opening feature there, but this one opens a lot faster and a lot bigger, which is pretty cool. This one doesn't open as big, and I think that's okay. So very, very cool. I do want to mention one thing. I do think they stored the rifle better. So as you can see on the back, they both do store on the back. This one is more flat. This one kind of just juts out the back, which does not look very good in my opinion. If you have a side view, you can see it just kind of sticks out. So that is kind of unfortunate for this version. But yeah, they definitely remedy that with this Kingdom version. So let me know if you have the Titans Return version and if you like it more than this Kingdom one. In my personal opinion, I do like the Kingdom one more. I think it's just a better size. That is more realistic size of a boombox. This is quite big in my opinion, but still a very good figure. Again, let me know which one you like more in the comment section below. I do not have the Transformers Netflix Soundwave. A lot of people don't, so I won't be making that comparison. I didn't really want to bring out the Siege version because that one does not turn into a boombox either. It transforms into a really big Cybertronian spaceship, so not really very relative to the matter of this video, so I didn't really want to bring it up. So very cool comparison. Let's get into transformation. So first off, what you're going to want to do is just split this handle here like that, and I want these both ends to go back like this, and then there is two big pegs here that will go into these ports right on that. So just bring these down and just tab these in like that. Do the same thing for this one right here. Just tab that in. There we go. And then we can start to getting to the front. So we can just get this section here, untab that. And as you can see, there is two slots, two tabs, and that's how that was tabbed in. Then you can just bring this whole section down, just like this. And then here's where pretty much everything just starts to unravel pretty much. We're going to get to the arms first. You're going to bring these up like this. Then what you're going to want to do is get this section here, unravel that, and then bring this down, and then use the swivel here and rotate it. If you are confused, of course there is another arm, so we'll do it again. And then what you're going to want to do is tab that arm in, bring this hand down, and there is one arm pretty much complete. Do the same thing for the other one. So I'm going to go a little bit slower this time, so you can bring this whole section out, tab that in, use the swivel here, bring this hand in, and there's the other arm complete. So you can now bring these legs down. You're going to rotate these to this way here, and as you can see, there is this section here. You're going to hinge that down, bring this in just like that. Do the same thing for the other side. Hinge that down, bring this in, and then you can close this section here, rotate at the waist like that. And then sometimes it's a little bit of trouble to bring the feet down, so I use the little ankle tilt, push them down like that. To do the same thing on the other side, just bring these feet down like that. And there's just a few more steps. This engineering right here is very, very cool. You're going to push this in and then flip out this new speaker. So as you can see, this is the speaker for the Boombox mode. This is a more simple one for the robot mode. So I think that engineering is very, very cool. I was not expecting that at all. And then there's just a few more steps. We can just go back here, and you're going to just open this section up, and then just get your nail and just get the head out of that little cavity there, rotate it around, close that up, and here we have Blaster in his robot mode. I'm just going to fix him up a little bit, and then we'll take a look at the details. Articulation, of course, finally eject. We have Blaster in his robot mode, and I think he looks very, very good. Let's take a look at the details. So we're going to start at the very, very top. Here we have a really, really good head sculpt. We have some silver for this top little forehead section here. We have some nice blue for the eyes. We have some more kind of gray for the mouth, nose, and lips and chin, of course. On the back section, we have some nice red for the ears and helmet section. Looks very, very good. For the shoulder, we have some nice red and black. Some more black for the elbow section. We have some more black for the hand. And of course, this other hand is different. There is a sculpted in finger for, of course, you to press this little button on the chest. You can actually, hinge it to be really close by for it to actually look like he's pressing it, which is very, very cool. And actually, before getting this figure in hand, I did not know at all that was part of this figure, so that's a pretty cool little surprise. Moving on to the rest of the figure, of course, more nice yellow and Autobot symbol there again. We have some nice red for the crotch, some more red and gray mixture for the top of the legs. For the rest, we have some black, some gray, and of course some nice speaker detailing there. We have some more black for the feet and some gray for the space right here. And we do have the little handle sections on the side, but honestly, you can barely even tell those become the handle of the Boombox Mode. So very, very nice. On the back, it cleans up extremely nice. There is literally no back kibble whatsoever. It is so well put together. The engineering is really, really good on this. There's like no back kibble whatsoever. I was actually recently looking at Cyclonus, and I was just realizing the same thing, that he has no back kibble whatsoever, and this is exactly like that. There is no kibble whatsoever, which is really, really nice. There is some gaps here and there for like the legs. There's some kind of gaps and stuff, but really, honestly, no back kibble. I'm okay with a little bit of gaps here and there. So really, really nice details for this figure. Let's apply the accessories. So he does have a rifle and, of course, eject, and I'll show you how those incorporate into his robot mode. So you can just get the rifle here, plug that into his hands, and of course he can shoot and fight in battle. So that's very, very cool. And of course, for eject here, you just press that button and just get eject right here in his cassette mode. Just fit that into place, close that up, and again, you can kind of see him in there partially. Of course, this window is kind of blackish grayish, so not the most clear. Honestly, I kind of wish that was more clear so you could see the blue through there. Some people might not want that, some people will, kind of depends. But yeah, very, very nice details. Again, very clean, probably the best version of Blaster. Of course, I wouldn't say I own because I only have 2 versions, but that I've seen. Best version of Blaster that I have seen. If you have any other versions that you really, really like, let me know in the comment section below. I might want to check it out. So yeah, very, very cool. So let's get into the articulation, and then we'll get into eject. Let's now get into articulation for Autobot Blaster here. Let's start at the very top. So for the head, it can rotate all the way around. For the arm here, it can rotate all the way around. There is a swivel, an elbow joint. The hand can move this far out, this far in to a very good degree. For the waist here, it can rotate all the way around. For the legs, if you move this panel up, it can move that far back, that far forward. It can do the full splits. It can swivel all the way around. There's a knee bend. And of course, the classic ankle tilts. So very, very good degree of articulation for Kingdom Blaster here. Let me just straighten him up a little bit. And then now let's get into all the details, of course, transformation of eject. Then we'll get into some comparisons for the robot mode of Blaster. We have eject in his little cassette mode. We're going to transform him into his robot mode, take a look at the details, of course, and get a few comparisons. So his cassette mode does look very cool. It's quite simple, really just blue and some nice yellowish gold, which looks very, very nice. On the back, it's still very, very plain. We have some more gray and blue. Overall, looks very, very nice. So people are worried that it's going to crack. Mine is fine as of now, so I'm not very worried. If you're worried about that, then I guess, buy it. Just be careful. I guess it is a possibility it could crack, but I'm really not worried myself. So yeah, very, very cute little cassette mode. Of course, this can fit into Blaster's chest in the robot mode and Boombox mode, so very, very nice. Let's get into transformation. So what you're going to want to do is get the leg here, just bring that out, down, and turn the leg there. Do the same thing for the other one, just bring that down, turn it, and do like that. Get the arms here, bring these out, rotate them like that, Go back here, just get your nail or anything, and just bring the head up, and it's on a ball joint, so just rotate that to the right view for the face to be forward. And there is eject in his robot mode, and I think he looks pretty cute, pretty cool. I really, really do like it when they include little mini cons and sets like these deluxes, leaders. I really think it's pretty fun, just for a little knickknack to be on the side for you to mess with whenever you're, you don't want to transform a really complicated figure or a big figure, so that's quite nice. I do quite like it, of course. All the same paint apps you saw before, blue, some nice yellowish gold, very, very nice. So articulation-wise, they can rotate all the way around. There is a ball joint at the arm. There is a ball joint at the head. Of course, same for the other side. There is no articulation at the waist. For the legs here, they can do the full splits. You just got to move kind of the arms out of the way. And of course, it can kick that far forward, that far back. There is a knee bend, a ball joint, swivel, and of course, no ankle pivots. So yeah, pretty good articulation for a little mini eject Very nice minicon. So now let's get some comparisons, little minicon comparisons or core class comparisons. So I just kind of grabbed a few random ones. Here he is with core class Soundwave. Just grabbed him randomly because he's a very, very good core class figure. If you've not gotten core class Soundwave, highly, highly recommend him. He's a very, very good figure. And I just grabbed a random Micromaster. I grabbed one from the Astro Patrol. So as you can see, he's pretty much about Micromaster size. Not really core class size. Core class size, he's quite bigger. So yeah, core class, Micromaster, and he's pretty much Micromaster as well. So very, very nice. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So yeah, overall, a really cute little mini-con. Let's get another comparison with Blaster, and then we'll wrap up with our final thoughts. Another comparison with, of course, Transformers Kingdom Blaster and Transformers Titans Return Blaster, and of course, Eject. So, as you can see, they are very similar in, of course, style and design, but of course, down to main things of mold, they are very, very different. Of course, he is quite a bit smaller. He is a Voyager class figure. He is a Leader class figure from several years ago in the Titans Return line, as you can see, but of course, the overall concept is quite similar. They have the speakers on the legs. The shoulders design is quite similar. Of course, they both have the cassette little deck area in their chests, and of course they both have a little button feature where it opens up the chest. So very, very cool. Another thing that's quite similar is their accessories. So this is the Titans Return rifle, and this is the Kingdom one. As you can see, in style, again, quite similar, both kind of a sniper rifle kind of style, but again, different sculpt. So very, very nice. I am glad they are a different sculpt. I was really worried when I saw pictures of the Kingdom one. I was really worried that they were going to use the exact same sculpt of rifle, and I was thinking that's very cheap, but of course I'm very glad it is a brand new sculpt, which is quite nice. Another thing that does improve for this Kingdom version, as you can see, is the handle for the Boombox Mode is just stuck right on his back, which is a really big no-no on my part. That is very ugly, just a giant handle right sticking on his back. They did much better on this Kingdom one. The handle is, of course, split in half, two halves, of course, one half on the leg, one on the other, so that is much better. They really should have done that with this one. Of course, that is kind of hard to get the handle all the way down from the top of the boombox down to the leg, so I do understand that is quite challenging, but definitely an improvement for the Kingdom version. So overall, very, very two good looking figures. Let me know which one you like in the comment section below, but I really do like having two different versions, because again, this one's the Titans Return version, which is bigger, as a bigger boombox, a different style boombox, and of course he has the really cool Titan head gimmick. This one doesn't have that, and it has more details, and of course it comes with a little mini-con. So, you know, both offer really cool features and details, which I really do like. So very, very nice. Let's get into the final thoughts. Let's start with the robot mode, and then of course cassette mode, then eject. So robot mode, really, really like, very G1 accurate, very G1 classic. Love all the really cool details, of course, putting in eject in the little box on his chest. Very, very nice. Love the sniper rifle. I'm really glad it's a brand new sculpt and not just reused from the Titans Return version. Love the head sculpt, very classic, very simple. Again, a very simple robot mode. There's not a ton of, you know, crazy details. Most of the details really come in the Boombox mode, which I am perfectly fine with. Again, love all the really, really nice details. And let's get into just no kibble whatsoever. There's no kibble on the back. There is a little bit of kibble on the legs. As you can see, these little pieces here form the handlebar for the Boombox mode, and I'm perfectly fine with it. That's barely considered kibble in my book, barely noticeable, does not bother me at all. Again, love the sculpting detailing. I really do like how they sculpted the inside of the little cassette tape box, which they did not have to do whatsoever. I really do like the spring feature. It seems like it's going to last for a long time. I was really worried, is it just going to break after a year? Several versions of other figures like Soundwave, Blaster, and stuff, I've gotten them before, and the little spring feature is just broken after a year because it just wasn't built that good. Getting into transformation from Blaster to the Boombox mode, very simple. I really do like the new added touches of really cool steps, like the arms, very different transformation, also the legs. There's some really cool new added steps in there that are very cool engineering that I was not expecting. Very, very nice. Also into sculpting, one little thing that I did forget in the robot mode, I really do like the trigger finger. That's very, very cool. I was not expecting that. Maybe I just didn't see that in the stock photos before I bought it. Of course, there wasn't many places to buy this. I got it early, but still a very nice feature, which is very, very cool. Getting into Boombox Mode, I really do like it. There's a lot of really cool small details that really just make it great. Like, of course, the volume setting, the forward and back, the pause, the little speakers, how these on the robot mode flip inside out. That's really, really cool. And there's also speakers on the side, so very, very nice. Definitely a lot of really cool details on just a small little boombox. Very cute. Again, of course, you can put eject in there, so it can be the little cassette tape or, music, which is very, very nice. Of course, again, that same really cool spring-loaded feature. Very, very cool. And again, it cleans up very nicely. There's not lots of kibble sticking out or anything. Cleans up very nicely. Also, with the sniper rifle, I really like how you can store that on the back of the boombox, and it is barely noticeable at all. Even if you show the back, it's barely sticks out or anything. That was a major problem with the blaster time to turn version. You could put the rifle on the back, but it just jutted out, and it was really bad. It didn't look very good at all. Getting into eject, I think it's a very cool minigun. I'm not really that picky about minicons. It's pretty cool. Very simple. Just gold, blue, gray, a little bit of gray, of course. The head sculpt's quite nice, detailed for just a minicon, really, really nice. It doesn't seem like they just slapped it together. It does seem like they put some thought into it, which is quite nice. Some minicons before, they just kind of slapped together. You can tell they really didn't try that hard for just being a minicon, They were like, oh, it's just like $5, we'll just slap it together. This does seem like they put some thought into it, which is quite nice. I don't really have much to say about the cassette tape mode. It's quite simple. It really just has all the same details that you see in the robot mode. Blue, gold, and a little bit of gray. Very nice, very cute. It is about Micromaster size, not core class size. It's close to it, but closer to a Micromaster size. So I also do like how it didn't inflate the price. Recently they did post it on Hasbro Pulse. And they priced it at 31 or it was 32, which is really not that bad increased. I'm pretty sure that's really the general price for a Voyager. Usually I buy them on eBay or maybe Amazon. Amazon usually it's about 32, 33, so really it didn't change the price at all. And I was expecting them to price it at like 35 or 36 with that added minicon in there, so it's nice how they did not increase the price. So very, very cool. Let me know what you think of this figure in the comment section below. Do you like the Time to Turn version more? Me personally, this is definitely the best blaster I have. Of course, I only have two. Definitely probably will be in the top 5 Kingdom figures. I will do a ranking video soon of my top 5 Kingdom figures, so make sure you stay tuned for that. He will probably be in there. I think I had Tigertron in, but I think he just kicked him out, unfortunately. Sorry, Tigertron. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next.